The views expressed on this podcast are based on a satirical and at times comical view of the subject matter. So don't get your panties in a wad. Live long and prosper, fuckers. Let's get the show started.
Big O! It's showtime!
This is a Tempest universe, man. Hold on to your ass. You're in for a hell of a ride.
That's right. It's a Tempest universe. It is Monday, and I didn't work today. I actually had a day off today. I just sat around, took a couple of naps like an old fucking man, and I enjoyed my Monday for the first time in ages. Really, that's all you need. Ladies and gentlemen, please take Monday off for the rest of the year. Don't go to work. I don't care what your significant other says. What, you need to pay bills? No. You need to keep your sanity. Don't go to work on Mondays. Mondays are bad as fuck. They're horrible. If you need to work on Saturday, go ahead and do it, but Mondays are just off. They really just take it off the calendar. Go in there and do like the government does and redact Monday from every month this year until the end of the year. Redact it. I'm telling you, no one will be able to go see that Monday even exists when you look on your calendar. It's the only way to go. I feel refreshed. I feel great. Had this been a working Monday, I'd be 4.2 far fucked. Now Tuesday, oh man, Tuesday's another story, man. Because Monday likes to linger around for fucking days. Days on end. Monday will last until Wednesday, and that's horrible. This is the Tempest Universe. Of course, I'm your host, Manny. And by the way, for those that don't know, the intro there, that voice got that final track. It is the one and only Green Man. And I appreciate the fact that he got that together. And some of the other guys, too. They put together some intro tracks that I put in here a few months ago. And, by far, the Asgardians, as we like to call them are the magnificent crew that you will get to meet if you ever go to Discord. The link is in the description. Meet the Asgardians. They are a ball of information, a dangerous ball of information. Like if you had two balls and one was filled with more information than the other, that bigger ball would be dangerous to the smaller ball. And that is basically what I'm talking about, if you can decipher that. I want to say what's up to the guys who are in the live chat right now on Spreaker.com. We got GameVit, who has had one of the funkiest, craziest sightings of a UFO recently, and on his channel too. When I tell you, this thing is nuts when you first see it. But then and here's the thing, like people, let me just go on a tangent, please. People who look at UFOs, right? They only look at, well, here I am. I'm co-located. I'm here. This happened in the Midwest somewhere. I'm on the East Coast or the West Coast. And they kind of stop there. They don't really look anywhere else. The funny thing is, as much as we hate social media because we're victims of it, some of you are. Some of you are scared as fuck of social media. But it's okay. Be a victim because that's where the information is. That's where it's being shared. And if you're not a friend of social media, you wouldn't be able to draw connections to what GameVid posted on his YouTube channel. Because the fucking thing was everywhere. The same looking UFO, same characteristics, everything. All the way from Canada down to South America. But if you're just in it for fuck's sake, just for the kicks and trying to look cool because you talk about UFOs, you're missing out on the information that's out there. It's everywhere. But you can't just sit there, sitting on your shitty-ass 15-year-old lounger thinking that if you look at one place, you're going to be able to connect the dots, and that's not the way it goes. You have to be like a crime scene investigator. You have to have the freaking the globe, a map of the globe somewhere spread out, and you gotta like fucking put push pins and shit like that, and see how crazy, how deep it really gets. I'm gonna tell you right now, and you guys gotta bear with me because the truth is that from now all the way until probably August, it's all going to be about the congressional report on UFOs. Nothing else is going to matter. Like David's video, the fact that it was reported in Canada, the fact that it was reported in Chile, and all up and down South America, none of that shit matters. No one gives two fucks about that anymore. They don't. They're too busy. They're like watching for this congressional report to come out. Nothing else. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Oh, shit, my cousin just died. I don't care. I'm waiting for the report. This is just, it's not, nothing else is going to matter. It's all over. We are waiting, right? The so-called date when this is supposed to publish, which everyone who knows the government says, you're fucked if it comes out on time, is June 25th. June 25th is the day we're all shooting for. So, I'm telling you this because today is May 24th. People are actually expecting this thing to come out June 1st. I don't think it's going to come out till like sometime July, August, but let's be honest. We're going to get little bits and pieces out of this report. And it is funny how many people in the last month who normally don't talk about UFOs, who have YouTube channels about science things and, really scientific research and stuff like that, are all of a sudden talking about the fact that this is serious. Now they're talking about it serious now. Where the fuck you been? Well, really? Where have you been? There's people who have science channels who have been talking about, Whitley Strieber and his book when I was a kid, and I used to see crop circles when I was a kid, and I used to read about them, and some two joker farmers said that they did it. No, those fuckers didn't do the crop circles all over the world. They were just two dickheads who decided to have fun. But, they take all these experiences and now, guess what? Oh, no, now your government is saying, we got to look into this publicly. Now, before they were really, listen, the government's been serious about this shit for decades. For decades. It's not something new. It is for decades. The problem that's happening now is that it is now in the public eye because some people decided to steal shit, publish it, and call people out. Call the government out. What? Maybe that's the only way to do it. We got a couple of news articles about that today. We got something out of curiosity on Mars, and, the joke that's UFOs, really. So you guys have been interested in this topic for some time, and, you guys are crazy about it, right? And you've been treated as such. People who go to UFO conferences, they'll have experiences they want to share with someone, but even in the middle of UFO conference, they're still skittish because they think someone's fucking with them. Well, guess what? Now it is in the public eye. It's all over the world. The entire fucking world. There's people in Wakanda waiting for this report to come out. Yeah, I'm being honest with you. That's a true story. Wakanda's waiting for this. Like the Black Panther's ready. This is the way it is. And at the end of the day, this is the perfect spot, right? This is where the government either comes forward, gives us a bit of good information, something core that we can hold on to and, relive our past. Or it's just going to slap us the fuck in the face. Really. Redact everything and give us nothing and still have us wondering what the hell's going on. It's one of those. I don't know what it is. One of these is going to happen. But you guys who don't believe, who sit on the edge, who'd rather believe in, some of your political leaders who are hoarding this information, you guys are screwed. You guys are totally screwed. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I'm going to tell you right now, and here's my announcement. From now through like fucking July, it's all going to be about the congressional report, which is, I have no faith in it. But, we got to let the dudes do what they do. Because there's more people getting together to try to undo what they've done. So, I don't know. It's crazy. I got some new music today, and you guys are going to suffer through it because that's what I do. If you're live, you suffer through it. If you're not live, you get to skip. So, here is to the guys who are live.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. Always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light. Just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art. You should know that you are perfect with those flaws. Yeah, you better step into the light. Just give it a try. Know that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine, shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Shine. Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine, shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine.
Funny thing is reading the live chat makes me feel like the live show should probably come to an end. Because some people take too much liberty in putting stupid ass comments in there. But hey, that's the way it is, right? First article for today talks about New Mexico. Apparently, there is a senator out in New Mexico that says, hey, listen, these series of UFO sightings cannot be all from terrestrial beings. It is very possible that they're coming from somewhere unknown. Now, we've been hearing this. We've been hearing this a lot from governments. Unfortunately, not fucking governments, more like senators, folks in U.S. government. This one comes out of New Mexico. Senator Martin Heinrich, he actually stepped out and told TMZ that I have no fucking idea what it is. But he says, anytime that you have a legitimate pilot describing something that doesn't seem to conform to the laws of physics that govern aviation and is in a U.S. airspace, then maybe there's something weird. We need to get to the bottom of this. People have been saying, again, this for decades. You have shit that's going over your sovereign skies that you can't track down, you can't identify, you can't freaking chase, you can't freaking do shit with it, but it's all okay for decades. And the thing is, listen, this whole report thing coming out in the summer, in about a month's time, it's all nonsense. It really is rolling up decades upon decades, thousands of sightings, not just in the U.S., but all over the world. It's all rolling up to this moment. This is the moment we're waiting for. When the UK was giving out and publishing all of their reports, which thanks to the Popettes, they know, even Nick Pope said, they really didn't show any interest in the reality of any of these UFO sightings, but all of a sudden, it comes down to this. Comes out to the United States getting this report from all these different agencies reported to them, and the fact is that what we hear is that these agencies at the moment are not cooperating. They're not divulging their secrets. This report may not have what we want because no one wants to share information about what's going on all over the sovereign skies of the United States. No one wants to give that information up, even though it's being requested by our own government. That is the issue that we're experiencing right now. But still, the Senator Heinrich out of New Mexico says, hey, there is no way that any report that comes out is going to be able to explain this kind of technology. It's impossible. He says, I can't imagine that what has been described or shown in some of the videos belong to any government that I'm aware of. Which government would that be? And he's right. Are you really saying that North Korea has this? Kim Jong-un, does he have this? No. This is possible. China could barely freaking get the damn rockets into space. Are you serious? How can they have these kind of technologies? Same thing with the Russians. Come on, they're trying to build their own international space station. Probably not doing a good job of it either. So which country is it? Is it like a sleeper country? Is it maybe Antarctica? Is that where it's coming from? Is it coming from like Chile? Even though they've shown that they can't even track their own airplanes without thinking that they're UFOs. This is what he's trying to get to. Now, the funny thing is, last week we talked about President Obama, who was, on late night, talking about, hey, there's footage. These things are doing crazy stuff in the sky, unidentified aerial phenomena. We don't know exactly what they are. The funny thing is that our current President Biden was questioned at the end of one of his conferences about what President Obama said. And his reply was, and I quote, "You should ask him," before making his exit out of the conference. So he doesn't know. He's getting caught by surprise, right? I doubt that he watches late night news or that he keeps up with the whole UFO thing, but he should, because his predecessor signed for this. It was all part of this damn bill that it got snuck into, and so now he's going to have to deal with it. So the question is President Biden going to now be part of this whole discussion about this report that's coming to the Congressional Committee? Nobody knows. Fuck, he doesn't even know. He was probably watching. He stayed up late just to watch Obama talk on this late night show, and got caught by surprise. Like nobody told him about UFOs. Nobody even briefed him on it. This is what's happening in government, and slowly we have people coming out of the woodwork in government trying to say, "Hey, I've seen the videos on YouTube. It's not right. Doesn't seem real. There's something wrong here. Well, great. For decades, people have been telling you that. So now it all comes to 2021. Dumpster fire number 2. We'll see what happens. The link for this article in the description. And if you're in New Mexico, what do you think about Senator Martin Heinrich? What type of guy is that person? And why would he just go to TMZ? TMZ likes to blow things up. Sometimes some people in government should just be quiet, while others shouldn't be quiet at all. Strange facts.
Don't force me out of bed in your society. Don't push me down the road you're playing down. Don't try to fix my head, it's just your anxiety. Don't hush me now, cause I just wanna shout. Don't make me dance to the tune that you're humming. No, my body don't move like that. Don't make me pretend I don't see your shortcomings. You'll be running when I raise the black flag. Get out your bomb and fly away. We'll be dancing with our hands in the air when our new dawn is rising. To the break of dawn. You can't keep me in a cage made of tired ideas. It's rusting out faster by the day. I won't wear your leash, I won't take no deals. I won't stay quiet when there's so much left to say. I'm not buying no mirage of suburban life when there's a fire raging just outside our door. You talk about peace on earth and the summer of love while you're sleeping on pills through the war. Get out your bomb and fly away. We'll be dancing with our hands in the air when our new dawn is rising. We'll be dancing with our hands in the air when our new dawn is to the break of dawn.
Don't fucking scream at me.
Where's
you
the
dumb
money?
fuck you? Look at you with your fucking 48% body fat.
Now, you would think that only Perseverance, Percy, was the only rover making news on Mars, but it's not. Apparently, Curiosity has been finding a lot of things out there that could be evidence of not only a past dealing with organics on Mars, but also the present day. Organic salts. It's pretty much detecting these things everywhere, but it's not built to really examine these things. This is the thing we've been griping about for years on the podcast, since Curiosity got there. We've been griping about this, because why would you send a vehicle? Great, you want to study rocks? For fuck's sake, fantastic. Study a damn rock on Mars. But that's not what people care about. Nobody gives two fucks about a rock. Nobody gives two fucks about anything other than the fact that we want to know, is there life anywhere else in our solar system? Because if you can answer that, for fuck's sake, Mars and NASA and everyone else, then you can only, using your gray matter, you can extrapolate. Because if you can find life in our own solar system, for fuck's sake, of course there's life somewhere else. But it's funny that after curiosity took off and people still had these questions about, liquid water and all these things that are being detected by the vehicles that are pretty much now satellites of Mars, that they still built Perseverance to look for ancient life. We need to know about life now. The missions to go to Mars are now. They're not, 40 years in the fucking future. We need to know about that now because you're sending live people, you're sending humans to Mars. So you should fucking know if there's bacteria there now that could be potentially brought back to the planet. Or that could potentially harm any humans that land there. So these organic compounds were basically found by curiosity, but it has an instrument called the SAM instrument, right? Now the SAM instrument does things not exactly looking for life, but it measures gas. It burns the shit out of things at 1,000 degrees Celsius in order to get the gas out of it. Well, there's only so much you could burn a fart before it's just like another gas. So basically, SAM, it drills into the surface, gets a sample, throws it into the oven, burns the shit up, and then looks at the gas. But that's not how you look for life. You look for life under a microscope. But Sam likes burning the bitch. So that's the way it is. There's a quote in here from Lewis. He is a lead study author that was published in Geophysical Research, # Planets. He says, basically when you're heating the Martian samples, there are interactions that can happen between minerals and organic matter that could make it more difficult for them to draw conclusions. But that's because that's not what the fucking thing was developed. Like, who in the fuck? I don't understand NASA, really. I don't. Because if you look at them, it's about exploration, right? But at the same time, you gotta look for life. That is part of it. Why else would we look to the skies if we are not interested in life somewhere else? Why the fuck are we interested in our planets and our solar system if we're not looking for life somewhere else? That's the underlying foundation of things. That's where our curiosity is. Are we alone? But these fucking machines they put together that cost billions of dollars, none of them search for that. It is the craziest thing. Then we have papers like these saying, oh, there could be some salts that could be remnants of organisms. That doesn't help me. It really doesn't help me. Now, there is another instrument on here that, besides SAM, that the Curiosity rover could use. But again, these instruments are over a decade old. Nobody needs any of that. They should have done something with Percy and Perseverance in order to enhance what Curiosity was missing, and they didn't do that. Now, the idea is right now that Percy has instruments that can look at things from the past, ancient life, that may be able to detect life now. And that's fantastic. But according to this report that's coming from Curiosity, it is very possible that Mars is completely filled at many corners of where Curiosity has gone with these organic salts. But it doesn't have the ability to define them in a way that could tell us whether or not this came from ancient life or present life. And that is the issue they're running into right now. But again, this is what they sent up there. You would think that these Poindexters would be able to learn from their first rover and put over some of that ingenuity and those questions and answer them with Perseverance, and they didn't. They didn't. They just didn't do it. So, do we need another fucking rover? Hell no. Here's the funny thing is that this is what I see. That we are now in a race on Mars. China has landed their stuff on there. There's other countries that are heading towards Mars. And which is going to be the first country to officially send a vehicle to Mars and undeniably, without any doubt, define and discover organic life on Mars, even if it's microbial. Who's going to do it first? That's the question. I think they've had enough time. They've had all these satellites around the damn planet. They've landed and crashed shit on the planet consistently. Now the question is, who will find it first? Who will name the first bacteria on Mars? Is it going to be China? Listen, I have a hard time pronouncing where the fuck they're going to name it. But it could be China. It could be the Russians. You know, it could be the European Space Agency. Or it could be the United States. Nobody fucking knows. But there is a race. Don't get it twisted. There is now a race to identify life on Mars. And I think we're behind the curve on this. Because we are too scared, too skittish to jump. There's been enough evidence to say that there is at least microbial life on Mars, including these organic salts. But we are too afraid to say it because people act like you will be ridiculed and called a freaking mad scientist just because you say there is. We'll see what happens, but I'm telling you, I got my money on China. I think China's going to name it first, and they're just going to colonize the whole planet. They're going to go to war with Elon Musk. That's what it feels like it's going to be. It's going to be Elon Musk against China over Mars, and we're going to be left off basically, you know, holding a bunch of rovers that are useless on Mars. But that's just my opinion. Shit, you ain't got to believe that. Hell, I barely do.
take it too far. Now I dwell in the sand like a fish on land. Like a fish on land. Must be hell, no more cookies in this jar. Did I take it too far? Now I dwell in the sand like a fish on land.
alternative hell. No more cookies in this jar. Did I take it too far? Now I dwell in the sand like a fish on land. But I'm deep, deep down on the bottom of the well. I don't belong, can't you tell? This place must be hell. No more cookies in this jar. Did I take it too far? Now I dwell in the sand like a fish on land.
Anyway, welcome to the live circus that is called the Tempest Universe. This one is out of the Washington Post. Now, you know, if the Washington Post is reporting on UFOs, there is something to it. This article, which is linked in the description, might be a good one for you to, if you're new, really, if you're new to the whole thing when it comes to UFOs and why there's some craziness in the government, in the Senate, Congress, why they're all up in arms about it. This might be a good one. Gives you a little bit of history and basically is saying, hey, why did we go from UFOs being a complete joke to national security concerns? But the thing is, why not? It should have been national security concerns from the beginning. That is a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. You can't have unidentified flying objects, or UAP as I want to call them now, flying all over your sovereign skies and it'd be just fucking okay. You know, another day on the farm, basically. You know, one thing that I've been doing is I've been watching a lot of Hangar 18 or some shit like that on Netflix, because they revived the whole freaking series and they've got these episodes on there. One of the episodes really talked about how, like, American Indians have this connection to the space people, the star people actually, and how they have talked about, you know, from generation to generation, how they've been trying to share that the star people is a real thing. These are entities that have come from space that they've befriended and they've shared knowledge with and so forth. But if the American Indians, going back, you know, centuries, have shared a knowledge and have communed with star people, why the fuck are we having such a hard time with this? What the hell's going on? The article itself takes you all the way to 2007 when Harry Reid apparently got together with Ted Stevens and Daniel Inouye, and they talked about, hey, we need some money here. We need some money. We need some dough in order to go after this topic. At the time, the topic was taboo. Like, if you were a senator or you were part of Congress somewhere and you brought up the topic of UFOs, your career was fucked. Just like pilots, just like folks in the military, just like regular people, the blue-collar folks. If they brought up the topic of UFOs and as a congressman or congresswoman, you were fucked. Your career was over. You pretty much were done. But Harry Reid, Senator Harry Reid, he knew these guys were into those secret programs, funding these things, and why not? Why not get them into getting some money together in order to fund a research into UFOs? We all know by now, Harry Reid is all about UFOs. He's all about trying to figure out what the hell there are. And now all of a sudden, you know, we got the guy from Florida. He's in on it. Mr. Marco Rubio. So now we're all in. Senators, whether they're Democrat or Republican, they would be lying to you if they told you they have no idea what the fuck is going on. At this point, they should all know. The report is coming. And I bet you they're all are waiting to read this. Well, as history goes, in 2007, he got that money. And eventually that put together old ATIP for us, which we know, wow, ATIP just goes. I mean, ATIP is a gift that keeps on giving. There's no way around it. You keep on getting from ATIP and Lua Lozando, Lieutenant Commander Fravor, all those guys. They just keep on giving, and we are what we are now because of what they did. I mean, that's the honest truth. You can't even get around from that. Harry Reid said that everyone told him that this would cause them nothing but trouble to try to investigate UFOs. This is coming from the guy who represents Nevada, or he represented Nevada because he's retired now, the home of Area 51 and the norm. But he said he wasn't afraid. He wasn't afraid. He says he had to do it. He was compelled to do it. I almost feel like, Harry Reid, even though he says he doesn't, or he has not had a UFO experience, and Marco Rubio, I feel like they've had a UFO experience. I just feel like it at my core. There's something about, or they know someone that did, and they were able to really share with them, in a really convincing fashion, that something else is going on. The article goes on to talk about John Podesta, of course, who was part of the Bill Clinton administration. John Podesta, who got rubber dicked by the the Russians during that crazy election period where it was Hillary versus the Don, which Hillary lost. And a lot of people attribute that to the craziness of John Podesta using password 12345 to where the Russians got in and got a hold of all these emails, some of them having to do with UFOs. John Podesta, another one, who is a core believer that there is something out there. Can you blame him? I wouldn't blame him. I could blame him for not knowing how to fuck to set a password, but for fuck's sake, it's all over. It's there. Thanks to him, we know about the Blink 182 man who started To the Stars Academy. It just all comes together in the craziest of ways. CIA Director John Brennan, former CIA Director, showed up on the podcast. And what did he say? It's a bit presumptuous and arrogant for us to believe that there's no other form of life anywhere in the universe. But we believe it. Some of us do. Some of us believe that wholeheartedly. And these are the people that we really should be afraid of because, for fuck's sake, they're going to lose their ever-loving mind when the news really comes out. But Brennan actually watched a lot of those Navy videos from the pilots, like our favorite, Lieutenant Commander Fravor. And he says, hey, that was freaking eyebrow raising. I could not believe what the fuck they were seeing. He says this about the phenomena and the report. He says, I think some of the phenomena we're going to see continues to be unexplained and might in fact be some type of phenomenon that is the result of something that we don't yet understand and could involve some type of activity that some might would constitute a different form of life. This is coming from your CIA director, John Brennan, former. If someone from the CIA is telling you, for fuck's sake, some of this shit is not from our planet, you have to listen. You have to stop for a second and understand that this information has reached the levels of government that the public at least knows who they are. Many of them were placed in their current positions because of the public. They were voted on. And some of those people you voted to placed these folks into their position, such as Brennan. You trusted those people to put capable individuals into that role. And those folks are telling you, for fuck's sake, I have no idea what the fuck is in here. I don't know what the hell is going on. And some of this might not be human. It really is up to you to believe what you want to believe, but at the end of the day, you've got to understand that the thousands of people, the hundreds of thousands of people around the world who have reported UFOs from 1947 on. Fuck, the hell with 1947, from the freaking petroglyphs on, are not making this shit up. This is a real situation. And eventually, you've got to take notice. And the article from the Washington Post is linked in the description. It goes on to talk about Lou Elizondo and everybody else that from 2007 on has contributed to where we are today. And like I said before, we're going to see nothing but stories connected to this congressional report until it actually comes out. And it's going to take up most of the podcast time. Hell, I think we should have more episodes where we have people come in live and just talk about it as things happen. Because why not? We might as well. One more article to go. It'll be fascinating, I'm sure. By the way, this podcast is brought to you by Captain Morgan, the spiced apple flavor. I don't taste the spices. I do taste the apple, and it's pretty damn good. A PAC launched to press feds to release more info on UFOs. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. People are coming out of the woodworks. Now, we've seen PACs for a lot of different things. These are the political action that basically they find themselves a fucking Congress person and they pay them money to, special interest type of groups. Well, what if your special interest group is UFOs? Well, for fuck's sake, why not? Why not? Why wouldn't we get people to be part of a UFO political action committee, and then we slide little Miss and Mr. Representative a couple $100, couple thousand, maybe promise them $500,000 in order to push the UFO agenda. This is what's happening. The UFOPac is going on. There is a article from Forbes that talks about this particular situation, but there's also a link to UFOPac.org in the description in case you want to take your money and throw it at this freaking political action committee to try to pay a person in Congress money to push the topic forward. First of all, I don't give two fucks. Maybe I'm taking this the wrong way. I'm going to just put it out there. But why in the hell do I need to pay someone in Congress to care about unidentified aerial phenomena or UFOs over the sovereign skies of the United States of America? That should be their number one fucking priority. Why should I give more money to them to give a fuck? I don't understand this PAC. I'll be honest with you. The UFO Political Action Committee, or UFOPac, was formed and actually reported to Politico, and it's actually led by Peter Ragoni. I guess if he's Italian, he's Ragoni. And he's an advisor to California Governor Gavin Newsom. Here we go. Now things start getting deep. One of the founders of this particular UFOPac is Darius Fisher, and he's the CEO of a digital reputation management firm. Well, he's going to have a client in the name of Gavin Newsom, that's for sure. So Gavin Newsom somehow is connected to this in one way or another. But the guy that they're saying is the founder of this UFOPac is Darius Fisher. So they are dedicated to persuading U.S. government to disclose, declassify, and demystify all information related to UFOs. Great. That's fantastic. I mean, literally, you guys, all you had to do was wait one more fucking month. Wait 1 month and see what happens before you put this, group together and try to, offer these guys whatever you get, thousands and millions of dollars just to educate us that there's UFOs in the sky. I don't understand it. But anyway, it's a real thing. It's a UFOPac. And the link is in the description. You want to go in and donate your fucking money. He says basically the group wants to educate voters about UFOs. They want to champion transparency, support candidates who are advocates to the release of information. Related to UFOs, of course. Nothing else. That's great. That is fantastic. I love the idea. But I don't get why would we need to pay these fuckers extra money. According to Forbes, Fisher says that this is a grassroots movement. No, grassroots movements has to do with your farmer, the person that drives a semi for the oil rigs, the mom and pop owners of business and stuff like that. Those are grassroots movements, not trying to fucking pay off someone that works in Congress. That just makes no fucking sense. That's not grassroots at all. But according to them, that's what it is. They want to raise money from donors online in order to make sure that these people that they go after in government, that they try to slide the old American dollar to, that they know that this is a serious situation. Why the fuck shouldn't they know that? That's the thing that gets me. Now, it's funny that the PAC actually formed days after Senator Rubio said that in 60 Minutes, said this, seriously, that UFO sightings need to be taken to heart, and there should be a process developed for reporting data, collecting data, and that these things should be collected and constantly analyzed until we get some answers. That's great, Mark Rubio. I swear I think he's been probed. I just feel it. Fisher went on to say that he created the UFOPac because it was clear that there is more on the topic than governments are willing to share. Really? Haven't you been watching? What the fuck is wrong with him? Like, even if he was a kid, and he watched E.T., he should have known the government is trying to squash the truth. Freaking Alf. They went after Alf too. I'm sorry, Fisher, but you should know this, because it's not a surprise to anyone that this is being squashed. Just go back. Project Blue Book. I mean, you've got enough history here to understand that this isn't something new. It's been going on forever. But he says, listen, UFOPac.org is going to help to build a mass movement to share not only what we're doing, but making sure that elected representatives, regardless of what party or political affiliation they are, that they know that we need the info. And that the UFO phenomenon should be verified and all the available data should be released. Going back to the idea of a grassroots movement, why do we need the government? I started a podcast talking about Gainvit's sighting, which was really, to be honest, it was validated by folks in Canada, other folks in the United States, folks in South America. Why do we need to pay people in Congress to validate what we already know? If you take that UFO sighting from Gainvit, it's been validated pretty much all over North America and South America. It's been validated. What the fuck else do you need? It doesn't look like what you call that, Starlink. Completely different from Starlink. Now, could there be another group that has these type of satellites up there that might look like UFOs? Very possible. But still, this sighting remains completely unexplained. It is a modern sighting that's been seen all over the Americas. Unexplained. There's no reasoning behind it. No one has a clue what they're looking at. And frankly, I was even surprised at what was caught on video. And if someone like Gainvit, who is, for all intents and purposes, a blue-collar person, is able to put that out, and he cannot rationalize from all his UFO research and experience what the hell this vehicle is, then maybe we already know that the mysteries are there. Maybe we should empower the people in order to solve these mysteries and instead of trying to slide money to folks who have been keeping the information from us to begin with. The UFOPac makes no damn sense, but if you want to know more about it, the link is in the description to their website. You can check it out, and if you feel like giving money, go ahead. Fantastic. But you're giving money to the folks who started keeping the information from you to begin with. I was just being honest with you. Take your money, buy some equipment, start your own group, and make a difference that way. Don't give the government more money to hide more things from you. Makes no sense at all. There's the end of today's podcast. I'll come back on Wednesday. Maybe we'll have some real sightings to talk about. Maybe we'll do it live and have somebody on here. I did get a message from someone who wants to talk about stuff. A lot of their stuff has to do more with the paranormal, spirits, and exorcism. So they might be on the Dark Horde podcast in the future. But they might even have some information dealing with UFOs. Like, why not? We'll ask them. This is the end of the podcast. I thank you guys for listening. Ciao.
Today is the beginning of the end and the start of a new beginning. Time has come to refine yourself and let go of the demons in your head that have held you in captivity for so long. It's time to flip the page and prove Let me create space for the matters most to you. You'll be glad you did. Now start reclaiming your time and your mental well-being by saying no more. No more. Say it loudly and proudly. In other words, fuck you. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Don't fucking scream at me.
Where's
you
the
dumb
money?
fuck you. Look at you with your fucking 48% body fat.